Researchers are searching the waters off southern Italy for survivors of a fatal shipwreck involving migrants believed to be from Africa. At least 94 people died and more than 200 others are missing. About 500 people were on board the vessel. It caught fire off Lampedusa, Italy's southernmost island and a getaway to Europe.
There was no rest overnight as the rescuers continued offloading corpses on the Lampedusa docks. Locals from the island recounted the scenes of horror as they went to the aid of the stricken craft, which sank just a few hundred metres from their shores.
We found a terrible situation, 150, 200 people in the water.
We pulled people from the water, those who couldn't climb aboard by themselves because they had no strength left. Many were naked to give themselves the best chance of staying afloat.
However, the fatalities vastly outnumber survivors. Rescuers gave an insight into the scale of the operation.
That after the vessel was running into trouble, they used flares to call for help. That may have caused the fire to break out, forcing the passengers to jump overboard into the sea for safety. At this hour, Coast Guard, police, helicopters and patrol boats are on the scene searching for any survivors and victims. Now, hundreds of migrants seeking asylum make this trip to Italy from Africa and the Middle East every year. These vessels are often overcrowded, but this by far is the deadliest accident.
More than 150 survivors were rescued, including reportedly a young Tunisian people trafficker who's been arrested. The boat is thought to have been carrying up to 500 migrants. The search has been continuing at sea. By mid-afternoon, more than 90 bodies had been recovered, including those of women and young children.
Lampedusa is one of the main entry points into the EU for asylum seekers crossing from North Africa or the Eastern Mediterranean. A network of immigration charities estimates some 17,000 migrants have died at sea trying to reach Europe these past 20 years.
You have to think of the tragedy that lies behind this, which is that these people, many of them are likely to have been fleeing war, fleeing persecution, fleeing human rights abuses in their own countries. So this is a tremendous tragedy of multiple layers.
It is a day of mourning. A minute of silence will be observed in schools across the country. Of course, there has also been a lot of talk from Italian politicians saying how this has really reached a crisis point here. Italy has been dealing, especially the island of Lampedusa, has been really dealing with this problem of facing wave and wave and wave of migrants, and they are calling upon the EU to try and help out and help them in this situation in dealing with these migrants who are coming from conflict zones in order to be able to deal with them in a more effective and humanitarian manner, Elizabeth.
Europe must do something about this situation here. These men, these women, these children, they did not die because they just wanted to come for a holiday to the Lampedusa and Caniglia Islands beaches, but because this is Europe's border. They dreamed of freedom, democracy, and well-being. Europe must act firmly. It must take control of this situation. This isn't an Italian problem. We have a duty to rescue, and we have carried out our duty in an extraordinary way. Those who have disembarked in Italy, we have aided and rescued thousands of immigrants, even often close to the other European countries. Italians have a big heart. However, Europe mustn't close its eyes.
I want to express my profound condolences and pain, a very strong pain, after what has happened in the past few hours. It's an enormous tragedy, which means we must confront this problem of migrants in flight from war in a radical manner.
More coffins are being sent to Lampedusa, with everyone believing the number of dead will rise. The migrants had come from African countries like Eritrea, Ghana and Somalia and boarded the vessel in the Libyan capital Tripoli, wrongly believing they were en route to a better life.